Day 18 tonight, there is an ongoing mass hostage situation in the, I guess, Islamic Emirates of Afghanistan. 13 American soldiers dead, more than 20 injured, more than 100 innocent civilians also killed, many others injured. But yesterday, Joe Biden, he decided to take a victory lap. He congratulated himself on a job well done. Joe Biden's mission accomplished moment. Take a look.
The extraordinary success of this mission was due to the incredible skill, bravery, and selfless courage of the United States military and our diplomats and intelligence professionals. Now some say we should have started mass evacuations sooner. And couldn't this have been done in a more orderly manner? I respectfully disagree.
And Joe's chief of staff, Ron Klain, the great puppeteer, he took it a step further, announced that the withdrawal could not have gone any smoother. Yes, it could have. Take a look.
It's easy to second guess, but let's just be clear. America was in this war for 20 years, and I think any effort to unwind that, any effort to bring our troops out, any effort to end our military presence in Afghanistan was going to be filled with heartbreaking scenes and difficulties. And I think the Biden administration has managed that as well as it could be managed under the circumstances we were placed in.
Like Biden, Ron Klain, really that delusional? Is he really this much of an idiot? It appears so. Nothing about that withdrawal being managed well. Nothing, Ron, not a single thing. If you're watching, you might want to pass on to your boss that I'm sure is in dreamland about this time. This new ad from Senate Republicans, and it might help jog his ever-failing memory about what really happened in Afghanistan. Take a look.
Is a Taliban takeover of Afghanistan now inevitable?
No, it is not. The likelihood there's going to be the Taliban overrunning everything and owning the whole country is highly unlikely.
This is not just about the overall idea of leaving Afghanistan. This is about leaving hastily and ineptly. Secretary Blinken, how did President Biden get this so wrong?
With an emboldened and stronger Taliban that has greater access to weapons and technology that we supplied.
Despite the president's promise that the withdrawal of American troops would be responsible, deliberate, and safe, the Biden administration is now trying to explain why the U.S. was so caught off guard.
Breaking news, and it's difficult, can confirm that a number of U.S. service members were killed at the Kabul airport.
Do you bear any responsibility for the way that things have unfolded in the last 2 weeks?
I bear responsibility for fundamentally all that's happened.
If you think that ad is devastating, take a look at this new ad from President Trump's Save America Political Action Committee. Watch this one.
Afghanistan cannot be used as a terrorist base.
That Afghanistan has become a Disneyland for terrorists.
We plan for every contingency.
Total chaos.
It is heartbreaking. It is depressing. It's a failure, and he needs to own that failure.
I bear responsibility for all that's happened.
He did not admit any mistakes. He did not offer any change of course. He says we're going to continue forward.
He really isn't taking responsibility.
Mr. Biden, you did this. You made the deal with the Taliban. This is the consequences of it. Go to hell, Biden!
Tens of thousands of people being left behind.
There's American citizens left. We're going to stay till we get them all out.
We did not get everybody out.
Dozens and dozens of U.S. citizens went to the airport, and the gates never opened.
The mission hasn't failed yet.
If this isn't failure, what does failure look like exactly?
But there's to be.
Mr. President, what about ISIS and the threat that Americans face now?
This is what Joe Biden calls an extraordinary success. He says it was the right decision, the wise decision, the best decision, unparalleled results. Wow. And then he went on to say, what a magnificent display of public policy. I ask again, if that's success, how do we define failure? Because today, Joe Biden took, again, 0 questions. He was exhausted from yesterday yelling at us and lecturing of us, and he apparently wants to move past his Afghan debacle. This crisis is not over. And by the way, the war is not over either. Americans are held hostage right now behind enemy lines. And even today, the Washington Post reported that 100 U.S. government-sponsored journalists and their families all left behind by Joe Biden in Afghanistan. There are now hundreds and hundreds, maybe more than 1,000 Americans with no way out. And, of course, we have no update on the exact number or their whereabouts, no concrete plan at all to rescue them. We have no diplomats on the ground. We have no military on the ground, no accurate accounting even of how many Americans are behind enemy lines. This is unforgivable. These Americans have been left behind and abandoned by their president. I never thought I'd see this in my lifetime. You know, I thought you didn't leave people behind, Joe. You said it over and over and over again. We don't leave people behind. You said it 2 weeks ago, Joe. You promised over and over again. In case you forgot, which is probably highly likely. Take a look.
If there's American citizens left, we're going to stay till we get them all out. This town, this state, this country takes care of our own. Leave nobody behind. Giving everyone a fair shot. Leaving nobody behind. That we do take care of our own. That we leave nobody behind. To help everyone in need. Look out for one another. Leave nobody behind. But we will leave no one behind. It's what America's all about. It's about pulling together, leaving nobody behind. Giving hate no safe harbor. And leaving no one behind. Reweaving that social fabric that holds a society together. Honesty, decency, hope. Leaving nobody behind.
Joe, you left them behind. They're behind enemy lines. What are you going to do about it? Just leave them there? Also breaking late last night, a whistleblower providing a transcript of a phone call between Joe Biden and Afghan President Ghani, you know, the guy that fled with millions of dollars. This phone call from July from Reuters, quote, in much of the call, Biden focused on what he called the Afghan government's perception problem. I need not tell you the perception around the world and in parts of Afghanistan, I believe, is that things are not going well in terms of the fight against the Taliban, Biden said. And there is a need, whether it's true or not, we all knew it was true, there is a need to project a different picture. Everybody knew it was true. That great, well-trained Afghan army that Biden was bragging about the same month was, disintegrating right before the eyes of the world. Not lies, Joe, perceptions. You cared about the lying part. Perceptions don't matter. Lives matter. And anyway, he asked Ghani to lie for him and pretend all is well. You got to tell people everything's going great. So then Joe Biden could take his victory lap after ending America's, quote, longest war. But as President Trump once said, the truth is a force of nature. So here we are, 13 dead American heroes and untold hundreds and hundreds of our fellow Americans, hostages behind enemy lines. A new report from John Solomon at justthenews.com. U.S. soldiers involved with the evacuation, they could not believe what was happening. They didn't want to leave a single American behind. Quote, we are bleeping abandoning American citizens, an Army colonel assigned to the 82nd Airborne Division wrote Sunday in frustration. One former Special Forces soldier working with private networks, because Biden wasn't going to do it, and the military to rescue stranded Americans texted, quote, you guys left American citizens at the gate of Kabul airport. 3 empty jets paid for by volunteers were waiting for them. You and I talked on the phone. I told you where they were, gave you their passport images and my email and my phone number. You left them behind. Americans stranded at the gate as empty planes took off. Now nobody's there to help them. Biden has no plan whatsoever to get any of them out. He says he's got leverage. No, that would be the Taliban and probably ISIS-K. That of all the leverage our fellow citizens.